Everyone, good morning. Just getting set up here. I wanted to get my iPad going with my Facebook Live just to see how it looked. How is everyone this morning? I hope you had a great weekend. Maybe got some gardening done, went for a nice lunch somewhere, maybe went for a hike or a nice walk along the ocean. Whatever you did, I hope was great. Hi, Barbara. Good morning. I haven't seen you pop on for a bit. You've been busy, I guess. Yeah, it's summer now, so people aren't in their homes as much as during the winter time. So there you go. Anyway, today I have something really fun and simple for you. I'm going to be showing you 4 packs of designer series paper that are available for purchase. It's 6x6 paper, and it has all the colors. It's all of our color families. I didn't bring to the table the in color family, but I did bring in the 4 other families. And I'll explain all of that to you as well. We're going to be using a variety of different stamp sets because we want some greetings. And then I put some color combinations together, and you can make your own color combinations. So you're basically combining 2 sort of like complementary colors. So 2 different greens, 2 different purples, 2 different yellows, 2 different oranges, and then you're adding a piece of designer series paper with 1 or 2 of those colors in it. Really quick and easy. Once you have this layout, you'll make a bunch. And the thing I love about it is you don't have to worry about lining anything up. You're just going to slap it on a card and away you go. All right, so let's turn my camera down to my desktop or add it here and make it full strength. And then I'm going to pull my camera down and I'm going to zoom in a little bit. I'm just going to get rid of my keyboard. All right, so here are the 4 different color packs. So we have 4 different color families. One is called the Brights collection. So as you can imagine, they're mostly bright colors. And then we've got something called Regals, and these are those like jewel tone colors. So they're bright, but they're richer, I would say, as a description, Regals. Then we have Subtles colors, and then we have what are called our neutrals, where if you're always looking for masculine cards, and this is a great paper pack because it's got all kinds of neutral colors in it. Okay, now when you get one of these paper packs, every year when a new catalog is released, Stampin' Up comes up with new designs, and you typically get 4 designs. So you'll get, like as you can see here, you'll get these beautiful, oh, I've got terrible shadow there. What's going on? There we go. So you've got this particular design on one sheet. Let me just show you. I'm just going to pick the one color. So this is Crumb Cake. So you'll get this color on one side or this pattern on one side. And on the other side, there's some wonderful stripes. You know how much I love my stripes. Okay, and you'll get 2 sheets of those. I took too many colors here. 2 sheets of those. Okay, and then you'll get this pattern here, which is kind of like a mosaic pattern. And then on the other side of that are these little circles. Okay, so that's basically, you get 4 sheets with 4 different patterns, right? And then they're all in all of the colors. So that's kind of how that works. So here's your Blackberry Bliss. Okay, so that's kind of how that works. And then they're all in the color families. So you can simplify your crafting by just getting these kinds of designer series papers, getting some colored cardstock that coordinate with it, get a couple of stamp sets, particularly a greeting stamp set. So this is a great one called Something Fancy. It's got lots of greetings in here. And then you pair it up with any number of punches. So this is a brand new stamp set in our new annual catalog. This is a returning set. And then you've got this one. This has got some great greetings on it as well. So you could easily punch with circles on these ones. And then this is one I recently purchased from the new catalog. It's got lots of thanks in it. Made with love, handmade for you. Thanks for being an amazing customer. Thanks for supporting my small business. So it was designed mostly with demonstrators in mind, but it's got some great thank yous in here. And yeah, so that's a good little stamp set too. Okay. And then this stamp set labeled with love, this came with either a choice of a punch or a die. This is the first time Stampin' Up! Has introduced an option. Some people prefer punches over dies, so you could have an option of getting the punch or getting the die. I chose to get the die because you get 3 of them in here. And so I can cut 3 at once. Of course, with a punch, you could punch it out 3 times for sure, but I don't know. I just chose to go with the dies this time. But it also has some cute greetings on here, and it's got some decorative elements, some flowers, some birthday presents. It's got a to from, so you can do labels with this as well. But it's got enjoy today and happy birthday, another 2 great greetings. And then you could just add a little extra element on your card if you wanted to. Okay, so those are the stamp sets I might be playing with. And then, so let's get started. We'll make the first card. So the first card I thought I would start with. So these are the color combinations that I pulled out, okay? And I'm more or less doing monochromatic colors. You don't have to do monochromatic colors. You could do opposing colors if you wanted to, but I chose to go with this color. This is called our Azure Afternoon. And then I picked the same color designer series paper. And then I chose another kind of a blue color. Okay, so that's one color combination. The second combination is, I just love, this is something spruce, shaded spruce, this green, one of my favorite greens, and I love it with Granny Apple Green. I love those 2 colors together. So I chose the same color designer series paper to go with the base cardstock, and then this is my contrasting color, okay? So that's another color combination. And then I went with some purples. Okay, so I've got my card base I'm going to do in the gorgeous grape. And then I'm going to do a lighter purple. And then this is the designer series paper. Okay, so we'll start with this one. So you basically need a card base. This was already in my stash, so I have a card base ready to go. And it's mostly, this card is mostly designed, I'm not going to say that. No, it can be either way, and I'll show you. You can either do it as a portrait style or you can do it as a landscape style. Good morning, Carol. Okay, so we're going to do that. And then it's really, really simple. You're going to take this piece and you're going to cut it 2 by 5. And this piece you're going to do 2 by 5. So you basically want 2 by 5. Now, you could get 2 cards out of this. If you cut this 4 by 5, then cut it in half, so you get 2 2-inch strips, and did the same with this one. Then you could just turn this pattern over into 2 different patterns. So you could get 2 cards out of this right away. So I'll do this right away just to show you what I mean by that. Let's just move these papers out of the way. And let me get out my. So your basic measurement then is your card base and then 2 by 5, 2 by 5, okay? So I'm going to cut this, like I said, 4 by 5. So I'm going to go 4 by 5. Okay, so I've got 4 by 5, and then I'm going to do this one 4 by 5. So this, I think, is already at 4. No, it's at 4 1/4. So 4 by 5. Real simple. Okay, then I'm going to cut this in half at 2 inches. So I have 2 strips, 2 by 5. And I'm going to cut this in half, 2 by 5. I mean, you might as well get 2 cards at once. Okay, and then I'm just going to flip these for each card. Okay, and then any strips you have left over, you can put on the inside of the card. Okay. Cool. All right, now to add some interest, you don't have to do this. I'm going to give you some options of what you can do. So here's your card base. Now on this plain piece, you're going to have one of these and one of these. This is basically what you're doing. You're going to slap this on and you're going to slap that on, and then you're going to put a greeting smack in the middle. That's it. Okay. Now, if you want to add some interest, I mean, that's fine, just the way it is. But here's some options. So say you have a stamp set with some small images in it. Could be flowers, could be these little presents, could be these little confetti bits, you could stamp on top of this. Same color. Oh, I forgot to bring color here. I think I'm just going to be using black, but you could just stamp on here with the same color. I would do this Highland Heather and stamp a design on here. Option number 1. Option number 2, of course, is to grab an embossing folder, which is what I'm going to do because I said quick and easy, right? So if you're going to do some stamping, that's not as quick and easy as throwing it in an embossing folder and running it through the machine. So let me just quickly grab an embossing folder. This is a fun one. So this one is one of our basics. It's got these really cool. Carol, if you're ever looking for something for golf, I mean, this is great. This could create, if you cut a circle and then embossed it in this, you'd get golf balls. Okay, so I'm just going to throw this in. And I'm going to run that through my machine. Okay, so option 1 was stamping, not as quick and easy. And option number 2 is to run it through an embossing folder. Okay, so I have that embossed, and then I have this piece of paper. So I'm basically going to glue these 2 pieces onto my card. And you could do them side by side if you wanted to be like that, or I think it's a little bit more effective if you twist them up a little bit, skew them a little bit. Okay, then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to grab a greeting. So let's see, I'm going to grab, let's do a happy birthday because I think I'm going to stamp this cute little butterfly. Actually, I don't have a punch for that. So let me think. Oh, well, we're going to use another circle. Okay, let's do something different. So I'm going to do a happy birthday. So let's put this on the block. Okay, and I'm going to stamp this in black. Grab my Memento black. And I need some white cardstock. And I'm going to pick a punch. Now, our current punches, I pulled out some of our current punches. So if you go to my online store and just search for punches, you'll get all the punches that are currently available. Now, this 1 3/4, we had it years ago. They retired it. So this is an old punch, but they've brought it back again. So if you don't have a 1 3/4 punch, you can certainly go ahead and buy a 1 3/4 punch. So this actually might fit my happy birthday. We'll see. And then we have a 2-inch circle punch, which is back. So this is my old retired punch. The punches are the same. They haven't changed. But this is a 2-inch circle punch. So I have that as an option. Then we have this fun modern oval punch. So it's an oval. So if you have a kind of a wider greeting, you might want to use the modern oval punch. Then we have this punch here, which is called the heartfelt hexagon. So it's kind of an oval, but not an oval. Okay. And then we, of course, have a 2 3/8 punch. So you could layer your punches together, especially if they're circles. You can layer them together to add some decorative element. Now, I brought out some gold glitter paper. I think this is still available in our catalog. It's called More Dazzle. It's 6 by 6. So you could add a bit of dazzle to your project if you wanted to. Okay, as a layering mechanism, I'll show you. All right, so I'm going to stamp this. And let me grab I had 3 silicone mats here. Here they are. Okay. So usually I stamp and then I punch, but I want to see how big my circle is going to look. And I've got clear stamps, so I can see right through them. If this was a red rubber stamp, I would stamp definitely and then punch. But here I can see right through there. And let's stamp happy birthday. Well, that didn't come. I think my inks need re-inking. I'm going to do that again. I'm going to grab a different pad. Yeah, this one needs re-inking, but I happen to have two. So let's hope this one's a better one. I think this is better. That's better. Okay, happy birthday. And no reason why you can't have stamped this. If you want to keep it completely monochromatic, you could have stamped this in purple as well. Okay, so I've got that. Okay. So now another option is you could pull out some of this paper here. And what I could do is take the larger punch now. So this punch was 1 3/4. So I'm going to grab the 2-inch punch now. And I'm going to punch out a circle. Ooh, not so easy to punch the circle out. It's not going to punch. That paper, this paper is kind of difficult. Maybe that is not going to punch. What's wrong with my punch? But that's not going to punch. It's really thick. Now, apparently there's a way to peel off some of our, yes, you can peel off the backing. Not meant to peel it off. And if you were going to cut this kind of glimmer paper with a die, you want to put the blades on this side and die cut down. I'm hoping I can get this off. Yes. Get enough off to be able to maybe repunch that circle. Of course, I didn't get it off this part. So let's just punch a new circle. I think this will punch now. Yes. Okay. All right. So what I could do is I can layer this together. Now, when you're layering circles, you don't always have to center them. You can offset them a little bit, which adds a little bit of visual interest. Okay, so you can offset that a little bit. And then I thought I could add something else onto here. Now, there's another stamp set I want to pull out. It's got some butterflies on it, but I'm already complicating things. See how I go? I just do that. I just go. So let's not do that. I want to keep it simple for you. Okay. So now I'm going to take my Tombow glue and I'm going to glue this piece. Remember, it's 2 by 5. I'm just going to skew it on there. And I'm going to grab some more glue and put this designer paper on here. Okay. And then I am going to put this on and I'm going to skew it. Okay. So I'm going to put a little Tombow glue on here. I'm going to skew this off a little bit. Then I'm going to grab some dimensionals. You could do it on flat if you wanted to. Okay, but I'm going to add some dimensionals. And I'm going to do happy birthday. So there you go. Really, really simple card layout. Make it as simple as possible. Okay. So option 1 was to stamp on the plain cardstock to give it a decorative element and then use your DSP or use an embossing folder. Okay. So that's card number 1. All right. Card number 2. Let's pick something that is going to use a wider, oh, and I'm going to do a different orientation for you too. Let's do this. Let's see. Here, let's do something that's a little bit birthday wish. Let's see. I didn't forget your birthday. I'm just stretching out the celebration. Oh, that's kind of cool. Okay. So we'll do this as our greeting right on the front. Okay, and this will pair beautifully with this punch here, this modern oval punch, I'm thinking. All right, so let's grab a larger block. And I'll move on to a different color. Okay. So let's go to the green. All right, so here's my card base. I'm just going to fold this in half. I'm going to use my little. It's really a shame Stampin' Up! Doesn't sell this smaller version of a scoreboard, because it's really handy for smaller projects. So I'm just going to grab, I really like using my wax paper. It just helps my stylus. I'm going to keep it to this side. I've already started to bend it. So 4 1/4. Okay. So there's my card base. All right. So again, same thing. I'm going to take these 2 pieces and I'm going to cut them down to 4 by 5. Okay, because this can be put on another card. I've already got this ready for another card. Rather than having this face up, I'm going to do the stripes on the next card. Okay, so you can make up a set of cards really quickly. And this is multi-directional paper, which is great, but you want to watch your striping. If you want your striping to go across, which I like as well as vertical, then you should always cut your paper on the stripe side, just so that you know which way you want your stripes to go. Okay, so I'm going to do them crosswise this time. So I want this to be 4 inches, again, by 5. Okay, and again, you have the scraps for inside your card. Okay, now I'm going to cut this at 2 inches. So now I have 2 different cards. See that? I'm going to set my scraps aside over here. And then my card, other card, I love Granny Apple Green. I'm going to cut this to 4. And these can go on the inside of your card too. You can layer these 2 pieces together. I would cut this smaller, but you can layer these. I'll do it on this card just so you can see what I mean. Okay, and I'm going to cut this to 5. Okay. Now, if you get hairy bits, I've talked to you about this before, but I always bring up my tips when I can, is if you're finding you get these little hairy bits, I call them hairy bits. You could call it lint, but you end up with hairy bits on there. Often it's because you're pressing your blade down too hard when you cut. You're not meant to push it down. You're meant to just pull it, push it and pull it along the cutting track. Okay, but these glue erasers they're just, I love them. They just take away that hairy bit. And you can get hairy bits on your DSP as well. Okay, let's get rid of these. All right, so I'm going to cut, oh, sorry, I forgot to cut this down in half. So this I'm cutting down to 2 inches as well. And again, I really like the embossed look. So I'm going to grab another embossing folder. and emboss this one. This is one of our new embossing folders. They're making them really big now. I'm not quite sure why they're making them so big, but they are. They're huge. And so if you have a scrapbooking project or any larger project, you can get a larger piece. So I'm going to throw one of these in here. I'm going to try and center it. So there's circles. I'm just going to try and center that in the circles. That looks good. And I'm going to emboss that. Check that out. Look at that. And it's really deep. This is an extra deep embossing folder. It's called Dotted Circles. So you can find that in my online store as well. Okay, so on this one, here's my card base. And you can switch these around, whatever floats your boat, right? You can switch these around. Doesn't matter what you do first. So we'll stick this one on. And we're going to stick this one on. Let's do the stripes this time. Right? And now I need some more white cardstock. And I'm going to stamp this greeting. I didn't forget your birthday. I'm just stretching out the celebration. It's really kind of a cool greeting. Yes, both those ink pads definitely need a re-inking. Okay, now I should have put that a little bit closer down to the bottom. I might have to trim this. Yes. Well, that was a waste. You got to kind of plan your punches. So let's just trim that a bit. Of course, I can use that for another greeting. Okay. So that is going to fit beautifully. Okay. Let's just close these up. Make them on my desk. Okay. Now, so same thing. Now, another thing you could do, and I didn't bring the cardstock with me, which was silly. I should have brought all those colors with me, is that you can make a frame of that with this same green, this same shaded spurs. You could make, I'm going to trim it up. I don't think trimming it up with this would work as well. Let me see. Did I bring shaded spruce over at my desk? No, let me just grab a little piece of shaded spruce. Actually, I'm going to do the gold again. I quite like the gold. And since I've already peeled it back, perfect. Okay. Yeah, the gold on the green is stunning, I have to admit. Okay. I like offsetting my dot. I really like offsetting my backgrounds. You could even add another punched. Now it takes a while to dry on the glimmer paper. So you could also punch out another green piece and put another punched piece here, which would look really, really cool. Okay, and then this is going to go on here like that. Okay, so I'm going to put some more dimensionals on there. So you see where I'm going with these? Fast and easy. Now, you don't have to put, because I'm just thinking about this beautiful circle here, you don't have to put the greeting in the middle. You could do something like this. Okay? Doesn't have to be in the middle. All right, so we've done 2 cards so far. Look at that. Okay, let's do one more, since I already have it out here. And then I'll make up all the other halves. Oh yeah, and I was going to show you the inside of the card. So let me just grab, I don't think I have a 4 by 5 1/4. So I've got a 3 3/4 by 5, which I use as a layer sometimes as well. So I could put that in there. And then I'm going to trim this down. So I'm going to put a piece of the green. Again, I got a few little hairy bits on here. Let's just get rid of those. And I'll use my little fine tip glue bottle. There's a lot of hairy bits on this one. Sorry. I think I've been saying this, I think, for a month now, is that I need a new blade on my trimmer. Because it's been giving me grief. So I'll just put a glue on there and flip it over. And then we'll do this piece. So see, you can just use up your scraps for the inside of your card. Okay, then I'm going to trim this from behind. Rid of those little bits. I've got glue on my silicone mat. So let's grab my tape runner. Okay, so there's our little scrap pieces. I'm going to put on the inside of the card. Okay, so there's the front, and there's the inside. Simple, simple. And I'll do that on all the cards. All right, we have time for one more, I think. So let me pull out my little Now, I said earlier that it doesn't have to be a I started to say it's really a portrait card, but let's try and make it landscape. We'll just see what that looks like for a landscape card, because these patterns will allow that. Okay, so again, I'm going to, I don't think this is a big enough piece. I pulled out a scrap piece. So I'll just cut this down to 2 inches. 2 by 5. Yeah, I didn't pull out a full piece. I'll just do 2 inches on this instead of trimming it down. Okay. And then we'll run that through yet another embossing folder. So this kind of project lets you use lots of your embossing folders. Ooh, let's do this Fern 3D. Kind of goes with the paper. So we'll throw that one in there. Okay, check that one out. Oh, I don't think I trimmed that down to 5 inches. Really? I don't think I trimmed it to 5 inches. Okay, so what I was going to say is we could do this way. We're going to skew it a bit like that. Okay, and then we'll pick another greeting. How about a thanks? A nice big thanks. Now, I don't have a punch that's big enough for this, but you could just pull out your dies. So actually, I wanted to use this heartfelt hexagon. Let's do a thank you. How about a thank you? Yeah, let's do a thank you. This is a really nice thank you in here. Love this thank you. As you can see, I haven't used this stamp set very much. I think I'm gonna just grab a blue pad just to show you the monochromatic effect. And I'm going to punch this first. This is a really nice shape. Look at this shape. Let's do this in the azure afternoon. And I'm going to skew it. Look at that. Love that. Okay, and because I do have some scrap here, of the blue, let's maybe do Let's see what happens when we do half a circle. I'm going to do half a circle. Let's see what's going to happen. No, I'm complicating things, aren't I? Let's just do. So on this card, I'm going to put the blue, more at the bottom. So I'm just going to do this sort of thing. And I'm going to skew it. When you skew stuff, you don't sweat it. You don't think about lining stuff up. Let me just stick it on there. And I stuck it on the wrong spot. I want it at the bottom. Let that dry for a second. Hi, Carol. Got my two Carols here today. One with an E, one without an E. Okay, and let's put a couple of dimensionals on here. We're at 10:40. Oh, I haven't glued these on yet. So remember I said quick and easy? When have I done 3 cards in one Mojo Monday, 1 hour? Never. So this just tells you that these are quick and easy. You can add some gemstones to this. You could add ribbon. Like if you really want to dress it up, you can dress it up. But I just wanted to show you quick and easy this morning. Okay, so there you go. There's your 3 cards. Okay, so with the scraps, when you cut these scraps down to 4 by 5 and then cut them in half, you'll get 2. So I'll end up with 2 blue cards, 2 purple cards, and 2 green cards. Okay, and then just slap them on skewed. Pull out your punches and some greetings, and there you have 3 cards. This paper did not come with a silver, which was really too bad. It came with a gold, a really bright gold, and kind of like, I think this is a kind of a champagne-y color, but there's no silver in there, which would have been nice on the blue. I don't like gold with blue for whatever reason. I don't really like gold with purple, but I prefer silver with purple, but I love gold with green. Excuse me. Okay, so there are your 3 cards, quick and simple. I hope you find this a useful template to do, and you can get 6 cards in no time at all for all the upcoming birthdays or Father's Day or whatever. You put any greeting on it. And when you have those pattern papers, you've got lots of selection. Okay, let's bring my face back so I can say goodbye. Let's get my mouse working first. There we go. Okay, ladies, thanks again for joining me this morning. I hope you have a great week. And I will now. I'm not coming live on Thursday night. I won't be here. But I'm thinking about doing a recording, but I'm not going to commit to that because I've got today and tomorrow to get ready to go away for a few days. So I may not have a recording. I may have a recording. It'll be a surprise. So thanks so much for joining. Have a great week. Other than that, I will see you back next week for Mojo Monday. Bye, ladies.